Who's ready for a really, really special unboxing? Stick around with me and let's dive into all the new goodies that I have just recently got. Hi, my name is Memo, this is my channel, Houseplantygoodness, and essentially it's a place where I like to geek out about my big passion. You might be able to see some of it behind me, it's tropical houseplants. So yeah, as I was saying, I got some really interesting things that may have just arrived in the post. Oh. GrowTropicals is not great for my bank account, but great for my emotional well-being. So I've got a few really interesting things this time around, and it's the usual story of, you know what, I saw an advert. Anybody from the GrowTropical teams that sees these, your like Instagram adverts, this is coming from a marketing professional as well, they're great. Keep doing what you're doing. But I saw a really interesting plant and I'm just like, ooh, I did not realize that you can purchase that as a house plant. And obviously, well, if I'm buying one thing, I'll buy a few more things. And to be fair, I have been doing what I've been talking about for a while, which is saving every month a tiny bit of money aside, which meant that this all came in from money that I'd put aside for plant purchases. And we're kind of coming into the right time of the year now, so luckily, I think most of these plants are relatively small for now. Where I'm going to put them when they get bigger? It's a future Memo problem. It's not a problem for right now. There is one larger plant, which was the plant that I went for originally, and I've got a place for that. It's not in here. It's actually in my kitchen by a south-facing window. And it's also going to summer some of the time in the summer outside and come back in the winter. So it's one box. It is one box. But yes, let's have a look, shall we? Right. I need to get some scissors. So the good thing with GrowTropicals, even now, they were kind of giving me the option to get a heat pack, and I did, because even though the temperatures are getting warmer, I couldn't guarantee, apparently we were going to have a bit of a cold snap. Some bizarre reason, I think the area that I live in didn't get the cold snap, but I think a large part of the country did. So I'm quite glad I got the heat pack, even now when we're kind of like middle of April, basically. So let's have a look. Ah, yes. We talked about this last time. It's like those bags, or like those kind of tinfoil blankets that they give you when you've done a race to recuperate. And it obviously keeps the heat in. Let me just grab my receipt from the bottom. Hey. Oh, that's nice. They give you like a little leaflet to try Planter Premium for 3 months. And I've got my little receipt here, and it's got the cost. I'll put the cost as normal at the top. Let me just move the box out of the way. But yeah, most of the plants, with the exception of 2, are not ridiculously priced, but I'm okay with the ridiculous prices of the 2. But hopefully this is not making an awful lot of racket. It probably is, but let's have a look at what has arrived. Hopefully, if this is anything like any of the other GrowTropical orders, this is going to be not only just great plants, but also in great condition and great packaging. They do this really well. And to be fair, they've been doing this for a very long time. So I have got high hopes. And I do know a lot of my audience isn't based in the UK, so they won't be able to order from this retailer. But I know you also all enjoy watching a good unboxing, so let's have a look. And I haven't had an unboxing in a while, so let's do it. Okay. Oh, the level of like noise that this is creating. It's also got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, not 6. Am I missing something? No, 5. 5 things, 5 things. Oh. That's so exciting. Right, let me show you the plant that I originally got the order for, which is one of the big plants. And this is a culinary plant. Not that I think I'm ever going to grow it to the point where I can use it for a culinary use, but I'm just like, this is so cool that you can get this as a plant that you can have as a house plant. So, as always, corrugated packaging. It looks so pretty. Oh, wow. Oh, the stems of that is not what I was expecting. Okay, cool. So I'll see. I don't know. I don't think they had that many of these because as soon as I made my order, they were officially out of stock and they had it on discount. That's why I got it. So I'm assuming a few people bought this. So let me show you the plant. And I'm trying to be better this time around rather than flinging everything on the ground because reasons. Because otherwise I take like hours then to clear up the mess that I've just created by being messy, basically. Try not to attach. Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Right. Great packaging as always. They've done the usual thing, which is the plastic baggie. They've got a label. I love a good label. So let me see if I can get this out and see what the condition is generally. It's looking good though, to be fair. I'll tell you what it is in just a second, sorry. The bags will go on the floor because they'll go into the regular rubbish. So let me show you the plant. Look at the stems, which is why I thought these is quite interesting because they're quite woody and it's very, very delicate. This is not usually, like you'd see this as a big tree, as far as I'm aware, or a big bush. But I don't know if the leaves move. No, but it does bring vibes of, is it Mimosa pudica, the sensitive plant? It's very similar foliage, but it's like a little mini forest. And I say little mini forest because this is Tamarindus indica. This is a tamarind plant. Oh, so cool, so cool. The foodies will get this. This is a tamarind plant. And apparently it needs a lot of bright light. Because I'm always looking for, because that window in the kitchen gets blasted by southern-facing light, and not a lot of things will survive, and I don't necessarily just want to have succulents there. Even my Hoyas that are there, they bloom prolifically, but they are so sun-bleached, it's so bright. This, on their website, was saying this needs bright light, and it will do really well by having a bit of a summer outside to get even brighter lights. Wow. Tamarind plant. I am so happy about this. This is so cool. This is so much better than what I ever thought this was going to be like. I didn't expect a little mini forest, so and the roots are looking really good as well. So I'm looking forward to growing this. Okay, what's the other stuff now? I also got my order because of a couple of plants. Oh, actually, I was going to say, this plant, and it was on discount, was, where is it? £18 and 99 pence. 19 Great British pounds. So very cool and kind of okay for the size of the plant that I'm getting and for how difficult it would be to normally find something like tamarind in the UK. And because my order was, let's say, large in amount, and you'll see why because of two specific plants, I was able to get a freebie plant. And actually, remember last time I did this, where I think I should have added the plant in because it was over a certain amount and they were doing a freebie and I didn't do it and I learnt my lesson. Maybe they had similar issues from other people that didn't realize. So this time around, I think they've changed their checkout, their online checkout process. And it was there, it was given as an option. It was given as one of 3 plants that I could choose from. And this is a plant that I thought, let's get this because, and this might tell you what it is. This is, I think, a hybrid or a cultivar of a plant that I thought I had the species. And everybody was just like, no, no, you don't have the species. It doesn't look true to form. So, and I was going to get this. Oh, this is bigger than I was expecting. Oh, I'll do the YouTubey thing where I'm trying to like tease it out, but I'm failing miserably. So, right. Is it really an unboxing unless you struggle with the packaging? This is. Look at it, look at it. And there's a new leaf. This one might have a bit of damage, obviously, because it's a very, very soft leaf still. This is... Oh, you should be able to tell by the leaves, hopefully. This is Anthurium forgetii silver stripes. So the silver stripes is why I'm saying it's probably a cultivar. I don't think it's a hybrid. I don't know. But I finally have essentially what is as close to a true forgetii as I could get. I was trying to find a true forgetii, but I couldn't find it. Sorry about that. I had to go and get the door. You probably heard Duke barking. Also, if anybody is wondering, Duke is doing a lot better. I don't want to jinx it. So he's able to keep his food down now. Based on the last repot that I had with everybody, that I kind of gave you a bit of an update. He's even better now. I think, I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think we're fully there, but we're getting there. Let me cut this off because the more I try to pull it off, the more it's probably going to rip. But yes, this is the closest thing I'm going to have, I think, at this particular moment in time to a true forgetii. I know it's technically the silver stripes, but, and I was trying to find the true forgetii, but I haven't found one easily yet. So I am so excited that this was also thrown in. This is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be small. That one I might struggle to find a place to put. But yeah, what's new? I have got the label as well. So this is, will this fit where I think it will fit? Maybe. I'll go to the same place that the previous one was at. So Anthurium forgetii, silver stripes, so cool, so stinking cool. And yes, I can now see what everybody was talking about with the fused sinus. This is very different to what I had. So I'm looking forward to growing this. Anybody who has got this, because I know that this has been on the market for a while, anybody who's got this, anything I need to know, I think, is this as slow as the regular forgetii? Let me know in the comments down below, please, and thank you. Okay, I'll leave the 2 most expensive plants for last, and I did the same thing again. Oh no, I didn't. There's no price to that because that was a freebie. Let's go on the next one, and this is one that I had never seen before, and I just saw it, and I'm just like, ooh, is it? Yes, I had not seen this before, and this might be another variegated Anthurium. Because the other variegated Anthurium is kind of captured my attention a bit more, especially the fact that I got it for a cheap price. This was slightly more expensive, and actually before I show you this, let me show you the other Anthurium. By the way, heat pack is there, it's doing its job, still warm, so I will deal with that in a bit. Let me show you the other, the Anthurium piranha or caipirinha, I can't remember, but let me show you. I've got a bit more variegation on it. You can see some of the newest leaves, like there. And, oh, where is it? That's the other newest leaf. It's got some variegation. This is doing really well, but it's a flamingo type Anthurium. So hopefully I should be able to keep it happy. But yes, this is slightly different leaf shape. I think this might even be a nest type, not nest, yeah, I think it's called nest type Anthurium. This was 44.99 Great British pounds, 45 Great British pounds. So not the cheapest. This should tell you how much more expensive the other two plants are going to be. But this, oh, look at that. And I'll bring it up to you to show you in just a second. Let me just take off some of the packaging. Da-da-da. This is very, very cool. Very, very cool. Right, let me, instead of doing it the dumb way, because no patience from the memo, let me see if I can actually chop it off without chopping off the plant itself. Or the new growth point that I just went with the blade right next to. This is why I can't have nice things, because zero patience. My poor mother and father, actually, they always used to try to get me to calm down when I was a child. It never worked. So this is Anthurium Renaissance variegated. Oh, this is really pretty. Again, I don't know where I'm going to put this. I thought this was going to be slightly smaller, so need to figure that out. Oh, there is one place. Similar shelf as the other variegated Anthurium, actually. So if that one's doing well there, this one should do well. But let me show you. Look at those leaves. Look at this. Look at this. These don't look diseased, because the ones that I was finding were looking a bit diseased. This is just looking a bit more kind of speckled and kind of, it's giving Mojito Syngonium-esque vibe. But, and I don't know if this is going to, oh no, it does. Look at the petiole and the mid-vein. When it's young, it's like a bright pinky red, and it's got, so there's 2 growth points in here with 2 new leaves coming through. This is going to be fabulous to grow. I cannot wait. But you see what I mean? I think it's like one of those nest type anthuriums, which I don't ever have. And this isn't giving Anthurium traditional leaf vibes. It's giving more like a variegated plant. But I like it. I like it. Surprising. Did not expect this to be as cool as it is. So kind of good considering the price of this, because this wasn't cheap. This is what I mean. I started with a plant that was under 20 Great British pounds, and what I added on afterwards, my impulse buys were not impulsing. To be fair, these 2 last plants are 2 plants that I've been looking at for over the last 2 or 3 years. So I've been wanting them for a while. They were both, one, I didn't think you could even get it in the UK until very recently, and I know somebody else was saying recently, and you know who you are, you just purchased one of these. This is mine coming up. But I don't think that person is based in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that's coming into the market generally, I would say. So it's very small for how much it is. That's the most expensive plant. The second most expensive plant is the one that I'm going to show you next. Is very slow growing, and it was redonkulously priced, and I'm fully aware that this might take me years to grow out, and my dreams of getting a mature specimen of this for cheap have pretty much gone out the window at this point, because it hasn't really ever dropped too much in price. So Anthurium Renaissance variegated. So I will drop this down and show you the next plant. Okay, and irony is with this, I paid a bit more and went for the slightly larger plant. There was a cheaper plant that was smaller than this stem. Oh. So I'll give you the hint now. It's a Monstera. That should maybe give you a bit of a hint as to what it is. But, and it's a very, very slow growing Monstera. There's not an awful lot of slow growing Monsteras in our kind of houseplant world. So, I am so glad I have this now. People might have already been able to guess what it is just by looking at it, because this is what most people will be able to afford. This, which might not look like an awful lot, and as I said, this was the expensive one because it's slightly larger. I do like the juvenile leaves, but it's not the telltale sign of what this is going to look like. This is the Monstera Burley Marks Flame. Oh. If you've never seen the mature version of this plant, go have a look. For me, the way that I always look at this plant is it's like the, not quite, but if you squint hard enough, it's like the Monstera deliciosa version of the Monstera obliqua Peru, where there's more splits, not holes, than leaf with this one. They're very, very pronounced, the splits on this. But from what I know from everybody, even the people that paid the ridiculous prices when it was first coming out, even for something this small, I know that this is slow growing. From what I could see online, however, everybody was just like, get it on a moss pole and get it on a moss pole fast, which is exactly what I am intending on doing with this plant. I definitely want to be careful when using the scissors around this one because this is a very, very expensive plant to chop. But I am looking forward to growing this, even if it is going to be predominantly on a moss pole, but I kind of get it with slower plants, especially the climbing variety of plants. If you give it a bit of a moss pole and something to climb onto, that should mean that they go a bit faster than if you didn't, especially if they are more prone to go slow. So yes, Monstera, Burley Marks, Flame. I cannot tell you how exciting this is. Shall I tell you the price? Shall I tell you the price? The price was ridiculous. Still a lot cheaper than what it was going for. So this small plant, £69.99 Great British pounds. So 70 Great British pounds. The leaves are a lot thicker than I thought they were going to be. They are giving very much Monstera deliciosa vibes. And I think this is a species. I don't think it's a cultivar. But yeah, this is going to be so cool to grow. And this will immediately go on a moss pole. I haven't got an aerial root yet on here, but it's very clear as to the way that it's going to grow up. So this is going to get a moss pole immediately. So very, very cool. And normally I wouldn't change the soil, and sometimes they'll throw a hissy. This is still a Monstera, so I'm willing to take the risk. I want to put this into something very airy. Any Monstera that I find is difficult, the moment that I get it into slightly more airy soil mix where I can control the moisture in the soil, it will always do a lot better. So Burley Marks Flame. Monstera Burley Marks Flame. It's not the most exciting thing to look at. The next one is even smaller, but yeah, very, very cool. The next one is also more expensive. I've left the most expensive one for last, for my sins. Right, let me put the label on that. Okay. By the way, this plant is down here, so manage your expectations there. Quick interruption to your video. Just a quick reminder that I will be attending this year's RHS Malvern Spring Festival, which will be happening on the 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th of May. I will try to be there for all 4 days, but I will definitely be there for the 9th, the 10th and the 11th. And I am doing 2 things at that event this year. One being a talk that's going to be open to anybody who's coming and attending the event, which is going to be all about plant whispering and understanding the signals that your plant is giving you. And the second thing is a workshop that I'm going to be doing with small groups of people. One is going to be on the 9th of May and the other is going to be on the 10th of May. They're going to be an hour long each, and it's going to be mounting plants so you can kind of put them on your wall. And for that workshop, you'll be able to literally come in with nothing and you will go home with a plant that you have mounted yourself to kind of enjoy up on your walls. The first thing, the talk is free to anybody that's kind of going to be in the event anyway, so you can come and see myself and probably a lot of other people that are going to be talking. A lot of your favorite YouTubers are going to be attending again this year, and we're all very excited to see you and each other as well. And the workshop has got a cost on top of the entry because essentially I'm having to provide all of the materials. So that is 35 Great British pounds per person. Spaces are limited for both of the days. There's only a certain amount of people that can attend each day's worth of a workshop. It's going to be happening at 11 AM on both days. So hopefully I shall see you there. I will add the link if you want to get tickets for the workshop down below. And yes, hopefully I shall see you at the event. Please do come and say hello, regardless of whether or not you're just attending, sitting for the talk, or at the workshop. We all love it when you come and say hi to us. But yes, back to your content. So this one, it's triple digits for how small it is. But this is the one that I was saying, I kept seeing it online for years. And it's a grower in Japan. That should be the biggest hint. The second biggest hint, it's a Monstera. The people that know probably have already guessed which one this is, but oh, I cannot tell you, oh my god, this is so tiny. But it is so cool. Okay, and this is a lot of money for a plant like this. A lot of people will probably judge me for this, I get it. But as I said, I've been saving for just like this, and I don't do plant purchases all the time now. So let me show you the plant, and this one I need to be definitely careful with. Ironically enough, when this gets a bit more mature, this is quite a hardy plant, I think. I don't know if this version of it will be, but I need to be very, very careful with this because do not want to destroy this one because this one is a lot of money. Let me do this off camera really quickly and I will come back to you because I want to take my time with this. And breathe, because I wasn't breathing there for a moment. I'm just like, let's not cut this, let's not cut this. Right, let me move the jangly thing off the table so that the fan doesn't go crazy with this. Have you guessed already? You probably have. Let me show you the plant. Oh, look it. Look it. Look it. It is tiny. Look it. I cannot believe I've owned this plant. And I really had to think hard before purchasing this. I knew how small it was going to be. I also am entirely aware of how slow this is going to be. I am very curious if the Burley Marks Flame Monstera or this one is going to be slower. This is, and let me get it right, the Monstera Kunzo White Monster. Oh, absolutely stunning. Tiny, I get it. I also get that the price, which I will tell you now, was $139.99. 140 Great British pounds for this. I think this, is this the most expensive small plant I've ever bought? Possibly, possibly. But I cannot tell you how long I've been looking for some of this. This didn't even make my wish list ever because I was just convinced that this was never going to come across me ever because I knew that they were predominantly only done by Kunzo in Japan and I'm just like, they're not importing to the UK, they're never going to do that. But as I said, because I know the other person that got it and I don't think they're based in the UK, I'm assuming there was an influx of these that have hit the market, which is really nice. If you don't follow Kunzo, I can't remember what the Instagram profile is. If I find it, I'll put it at the top there. On Instagram, please do. Drool worthy. Absolutely drool worthy. And such a lovely, lovely, lovely human being. Lovely, lovely human being. But yeah, cannot tell you how exciting this is. This might be another one that is looking like very dense, compacted soil. I don't know if I move this or not, but I think this is going to be another one that I want to put it in my own growing media because I just want to make sure that I can control what I need to control. And by my own growing media, broken record, the Anthurium soil mix from Soil Ninja. Oh, so cool. So, so cool. But yes, I will put this down. What did you think? Feel free to judge me in the comments down below. I know you will anyway, it's fine. £20 plant. Ended up doing an order that was just shy of 300. You know, no self-control. None whatsoever. But yeah, and I'm really curious, has anybody ever grown the tamarind plant? Also with Forgetii white stripes, any tips would be much appreciated. Have you ever seen the Renaissance, the variegated Anthurium? What did you think? Because I know a lot of people don't necessarily like variegated Anthuriums. Burley Marks Flame, anybody who has actually got this, kudos to you. How slow does it grow? I know it's slow, but just remind me slow, yeah. And does anybody have the white monster? This is one of those plants as well that in a mature form sells for an obscene amount of money, which I would never pay, just to be clear. So I'm happy to let this grow as much as it is, but yeah, this is going to be a slow one because I'm looking at the variegation on this and it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm also curious to see if this is going to crisp up as quickly as everything else does. I would imagine it would do like an elbow, but that's what I'm saying. This is going to become big at some point. Right now, this is not a problem, so we should be okay. But yes, quick little unboxing video. I don't think it's that quick looking at the timing. But yes, hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully I shall see you here soon. I've got a lot of work to do right now with these plants, and hopefully I shall see you soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.